So the roads tomorrow may be impacted, not so much because of a tremendous amount of snow, but just this combination of maybe some black ice and a little snow on top of that. The bottom line for tomorrow, snow showers end by lunch. The Arctic air is just pouring in throughout the day, windy, dropping temperatures all day long. By later in the afternoon, we're down into the single digits wind chill factors, sub-zero for sure. And then that colder air just continues to pour in tomorrow night into Saturday. Saturday temperatures may not get above 5.
In true Missouri fashion, got a guy riding my ass. Here we are, cold camp of 2024. I didn't want to film me putting the tent up because the sun's about to go down. Can't even see it no more. But the sun is about to go down, so I'm gonna get everything out of my truck and hopefully not blow away in this wind. I think I have the tent situated in an area that's gonna stay out of the wind as much as possible, but it's still gonna be very windy, aka dangerous. Let me get unpacked. Let me get this guy plugged in, because this is the star of the show this weekend. It's 11 degrees right now with 20-mile-an-hour wind, and I just got to the campsite. Most important thing is the buddy is going. So let's take a quick look around before the sun goes down. Here we are. This is hands down my favorite lake. I live pretty close to it. I boat on it every year. I kayak on it. I've caught some of the biggest fish in my life in it. So I figured what better way to pay homage to this lake than to camp out in one of the coldest weekends of the year. It's 11 degrees right now. It's supposed to get down into the negatives. With the wind chill, it's supposed to be in the negative 20s. I just got the tent set up, just got the heater on, and feeling pretty good. So I'm gonna go inside and relax because it is just bone chilling cold out here. Unbelievable. My parents got me this weather radio as a gift, and it's been in my office for about a year. And we had a little storm a while back, and I put it to use, and it's very handy. One cool thing I'm going to show you right now, aside from having a light, a flashlight, all the other stuff, has an AM, a FM, a siren, a lantern, a flashlight, as well as a weather broadcast button. So if you just press that button right there, there's no batteries in this thing. I'm gonna listen to the weather.
Cause frostbite on exposed skin in as little as 10 minutes. Avoid outside activities if possible. When outside, make sure you wear appropriate clothing, a hat, and gloves. Repeating, a wind chill warning remains in effect from 6 p.m. until noon Tuesday for the following county. Wind chills as low as 40 below zero.
There's even a knob on the back for AA batteries or rechargeable batteries. There's also a USB charger on it. There's a DC 7 volt in it, which is what I used at home. Just plug it in, and then there's also a line if you need to use headphones or a speaker. I don't know. But man, this thing's got it all. I'm telling you what. I'll figure out where they got it, and I'll throw a link in the description.
With a west-northwest wind between 15 and 20 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 30 miles per hour. for Sunday, increasing clouds and cold, with a high around 0. Northwest wind between 9 and 14 miles per hour, with gusts as high as 21 miles per hour.
Here's tonight's dinner. Some almonds, some cheese, and some tuna salad and crackers. Let's see. It's 1 degree right now. In 12 hours, it's supposed to be negative 20 degrees. I woke up once at about 1:30 in the morning because the wind was so bad. Not on my tent, but outside of it. I was a little concerned. I kept thinking, what if something happens in the middle of the night, and should I sleep with my bibs on and all that? But I left everything close to me just in case, and we're good to go. Now we're cooking. It took a lot longer than I was hoping. That took probably 3 minutes to heat up one cup of coffee. I don't think it has anything to do with the fuel or the brand of fuel. It's just the type of fuel. So some bad news. I don't know if you can see it, but this propane is slightly warped. And so is my other one. So it's been turning off. Luckily I was able to get the bacon and the onions made and the hash browns maybe about 4 minutes on there. So I'm just gonna let it sit here and cook on its own. I got some foil on it. Looks like I might be skipping the eggs. Of all the stuff that I have out here, the only thing so far that has failed me is the stove propane. It's -3 right now. And I'm sitting in here enjoying hash browns and bacon. Look at that, we even got some leftovers. I'll get these wrapped up, and I think if I just keep it near the buddy later when I'm hungry, I can eat it. And it'll warm itself right up. I think I might venture out into the cold and try to walk a mile. I don't know if that's a good idea or not. I kind of figured all the bad things that could happen out here in this situation. A lot of them have to do with being outside of the tent. Last year when I camped in 0 degrees, I was dragging a picnic table and I hurt my back. Luckily I hurt my back enough. I hurt my back and then I went into the tent, and when I was bending over to get into the tent, my back like started spazzing out and I fell back on the cot and laid there for about 24 hours until my brother showed up. And then I proceeded to lay there for the next, I think, 4 days or 3 days in pain. And if you're out there walking around and something like that happens, it's a real problem. I have all the gear, I think, to be warm out there. I have good boots, good gloves. Almost all my skin will be covered. I just kind of want to take a look around, see what's out there. And I'm going to have my phone on me and a battery pack and all that kind of stuff. So you never know what could happen. And I've learned that with pretty much all of my hobbies: fishing, kayaking, boating. I've had almost a major catastrophe in all of those things. So being prepared is critical, especially when you're messing with temperatures that can go down to -20 like they're calling for tonight. For now, I'm comfortable. I'm sitting here in sweatpants. I have some thermals on, eating a nice hot meal. Like, I can't complain. There's a little bit of snow kind of gathering up on the tent. I don't know if that's helping the heat or hurting it, but it seems pretty comfortable in here. I was a little chilly when I got here yesterday, but I slept like a baby. I'm not worried. If it gets 20 below tonight, as long as I have this stuff dry, I think I'll survive. So I'm gonna have some breakfast, and then I'll put my boots on and go out and take a look around.
Really got trashed. Remember the whole Wonderlic thing, and people were dogging him out. And so, he's got something to prove. And then young rookie coach D'Amico Ryans also, who played in Houston. What a story it is for him. But there's a...
So another cool thing about this radio that I just noticed is it has a thermometer on it. And believe it or not, it's almost 60 degrees inside the tent right now. Insane. It's 1 degree outside right now. Getting ready to go take a look around. The sun is shining for the first time. I think it's about -2 or 3 right now. And it's windy and it's cold. My phone, I'm gonna bring a battery just in case. And I'm only gonna be gone like 20 minutes, but good lordy. So I have these wool gloves. These has lasted probably 2 years now. As you can see, they're starting to fade, but this actual wool here, these are great. And I picked these up just in case for this trip, and I'm really glad I did, but they're double extra large deerskin gloves, winter gloves. So completely out of the wind, all that. I got this, my girlfriend got me this. I've got Carhartt hat, jacket, bibs, muck boots, So let's take a look around for a few minutes and see what's out there. It's definitely cold out here, but it's beautiful. I didn't think there was as much snow in my tent as there is. I was able to survive the night with no problems in my Kodiak XL sleeping bag, in the tent, and the heater. Those are the three things that made all this pretty comfortable. I'm going to show you why I picked where I picked. You can see my truck right there. There's the lake. The wind is coming this way, and it's kind of coming this way too. So the wind is, there's a hill right here, and it kind of goes down, and then it goes down a little bit more, and I'm at the very bottom part of it. So when this wind comes around and whips here, it kind of travels through and around my tent this way and that way, to where I'm hearing stuff like this that's making me really nervous and making me think, oh boy, here comes the gusts. I'm hearing on the weather radio 45-mile-an-hour gusts, 30-mile-an-hour gusts. And that's true if I was over there somewhere like I just was. It was horrible. Out of all the spots here, that one is the only one I would stay at, with maybe the exception of one I found over there that kind of had a tree line next to it. That's another thing to think about if you're thinking about going out winter camping, is you need to be aware of things like wind. You need to be aware of things like tree branches falling on you. You need to make sure you look at the tree and make sure it's in good shape. Well guys, I think I've had about enough outdoor exploration for right now. There's some football playoffs on today, and I'm gonna go see if my batteries are warm enough to power my little emergency radio. If so, that would be awesome. If not, I can hand crank it. Chiefs game is tonight. I'm debating on starting a little fire. I'm also debating on taking a nap. Now that I've been out in this weather for a little bit, it's still pretty cold. It's very cold out here. Couldn't do the glasses. My eyes, they're fogging up with this thing on. My eyes were watering and like freezing as they were shutting. So the first 10 minutes were pretty bad, but right now I'm feeling okay. Tent is holding up very nicely. I have a feeling some of the snow that's packing up down here is probably helping me. Like that.
believe in what I can do as far as continue.
Ooh. Alright, well that's good news. We're gonna go ahead and let her heat up a little bit. Grab another glow stick. Ooh, that was dumb.
The final score, 60 to 59. The Red Raiders go to 14
Texas
and 2
Tech.
and 3 and 0. The Wildcats fall to 12 and 4 and 2 and 1 in a heartbreaking loss here today for the Wildcats. 60 to 59 our final. Back with postgame next. This is the K-State Sports Network from Learfield.
Well, the Wildcats couldn't pull it off. It was a good game though. I'm gonna let my truck run for a few minutes. Make sure, hopefully it'll be able to start tomorrow. It's gonna be a little chilly, like negative 15 I believe, so wanna make sure I can get out of here. Anyways.
So quickly and able to pick up that first down. The first rookie in the Super Bowl era to lead the league in passing yards per game and touchdown interception ratio. C.J. Stroud. First down at
Alright, I can listen to some NFL football out here.
He tries to cut it upfield and 14. Winner advances to the divisional round.
The Chiefs are playing tonight in a playoff game against the Dolphins, and hopefully I can listen to it. But my girlfriend and her family are season ticket holders to the Chiefs. Her parents decided not to go, but she's going with some friends, and just standing out here for 5 minutes now, it is insanely cold. I can't imagine standing in a parking lot and then going and standing in the game in this kind of weather. But goodness gracious, hopefully they have accommodations for everyone going to the game tonight. So hopefully her and I both survive tonight. But in the meantime, I'm gonna take a walk and enjoy some of the sights. Man, I can't believe it. I can't believe I'm really here right now, honestly. Thank God for that tent and that heater, because this is just brutal. In fact, now that I'm thinking about it, I should probably start my truck when I get back to my campsite just to make sure the battery's got a little bit of charge, because I think it's supposed to get down to negative 20 tonight. So we need to make sure all of our checks are crossed, or whatever the term is.
And then in the class, during that 3-hour class, about the first 2 hours is a presentation, or what we call the lecture, and then
And he says it's just a matter of time.
a garden,
The clock, and he throws deep, and he wants to, so he has him! Rock and roll! Touchdown, Houston! Flacco to throw. Flacco, it's picked off. Here we go to the left, 25, 26, deep, 10-5. Touchdown, Christian Harris. That's the second one. Second pick six of the game. Welcome to Houston, Joe Flacco. Texans Radio Network. Dolphins Chief. Tagovailoa in the pocket. He'll step up. He fires a pass. It's incomplete. On the near side for Tyreek Hill. This time, Trent McDuffie defends the play. And the Chiefs hold on downs at their own 45-yard line. And now the Chiefs spin out. They're going to go to a single wing type play here. This is going to be a direct snap. It goes to Pacheco, spinning. Now
Waking up with the geese. I got some of that hash brown bacon stuff warming up on the buddy. It's pretty much done. It only takes a couple of minutes. If you do this, be very careful. But yeah, it was a good night. Not bad at all. It's supposed to get down to -17, but from what I saw, and obviously it's not over yet, this morning when I woke up, I checked my phone at about 6 a.m. and it was -11. So I think it felt like in the -20s outside with the wind chill. But in here, in the sleeping bag, everything was gravy. I had the buddy on low all night. When I woke up and saw it was -11, I did kick it up to high and fell back asleep for a couple hours. And now I'm in here. It's pretty nice in here. I had pretty much 0 issues throughout the night. I have a little bit of condensation right here on my tent, and I'm assuming this is because the buddy is right there, but it's not bad. It's so cold, it's just frozen to it. But other than that, over here, there's nothing. All the corners of my tent look pretty good for the most part. There's one corner over here where the wind is hitting that I'm getting a little bit of frost, but not bad. And this is right where my head is when I sleep, and I slept fine with no problems. I'd say the 2 main concerns I had that I didn't really think about enough, other, than the normal stuff, which I think I did good on as far as being prepared, but making sure my truck starts when I leave here and the road's getting out of here. I haven't seen anyone the entire time I've been here, which is very surprising for a lake of this size. And I come out to this lake a lot, and I've came out here and boated when it's been not the greatest conditions, and I always see somebody. So the fact that I haven't seen anyone is a little bit concerning, because it makes me wonder if the roads are okay getting out of here. I might take the drone up before I leave just to take a little look-see, but yesterday, I know leaving the park, they did a great job of having the roads clear when I got here, but there's been a giant winter storm since I've been here, and I haven't seen anybody. So we'll see. But the plan is to eat my breakfast, get my truck started, pack up, get everything in my truck, and just leave my truck running until I leave. I think that's the safest bet, because if I take everything down and then try to start my truck and it doesn't start, gonna be a little bit of a problem. So the plan is to just relax, hang out, maybe go walk around a little bit more, and slowly get everything packed up, have some coffee, have some breakfast, maybe have some lunch, I don't know. But just kind of enjoy the rest of my time here while I'm here. Oh, and my other concern, because I just heard it, tree limbs. I'm under a tree right now. I did that thing when I got here when it was 20+ mile an hour wind, where I looked around and found the best spot, I think, but it was under a tree. So I stood under the tree for about a minute in the wind and listened to see if I could hear any cracks or any, you know, look if I could see any bad branches or anything like that. And I didn't see anything. I did notice the top of the tree's leaves had fallen and the bottom had not. I don't know if that's a sign of something. I'm sure it is, but regardless, thank goodness nothing fell on me while I was here. But I have heard tree limbs falling everywhere around me, and some very big ones, just kaboom. So above me, most of the tree limbs are pretty skinny. I don't think anything's gonna kill me unless the whole tree fell over. But around me, there's some big trees that have, you know, 6-inch, 8-inch limbs that have fallen on the ground, and I can hear them throughout the night while I'm laying here, and then I just think, oh boy. So didn't think about that enough. Next time I'll probably definitely, if I'm in this type of situation, scout it out more or find a spot that's out of the wind that I know is out of the wind. So now that I know this, when I go to my spots, I'm going to try to find a secluded out of the wind area without a tree above it for my next winter camp out. Now, will I ever hit 0 degrees? Or, excuse me, negative 11 degrees feels like negative 27 degrees? I don't know. Probably not. I don't even remember maybe in my life it ever being that cold where I live. So to expect to do it again close to home, you know, I might be an old man in a wheelchair by then. So I saw an opportunity. I took it. I'm very glad I took it. People thought I was crazy. I started thinking I was crazy literally when I pulled in and the wind was whipping around and I'm looking at the forecast and it's just going toot, 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 toot. I'm like, man, this is how idiots are made. But I knew I had done my best to prepare, and it worked. I was able to comfortably camp in negative 11 degrees, confirmed. Might have been colder. I haven't even checked the weather at home. And in that time, I cooked, I watched football, I cooked, I listened to football, I hung out, I read, I played video games, I took a walk, I flew my drone around, I explored. I had a really good time out here. And for these conditions, I know people that are in their own homes that are suffering at home. So maybe I did make the right choice. Regardless, another one checked off the list. I've camped in cold weather before, but never in this cold weather. The coldest I camped was last year in Nebraska, and I actually have a video of that. And that was 0 degrees, I believe, is the lowest it got. And it wasn't that bad. So I knew this wouldn't be too bad, and it wasn't. Anyways, I'm gonna eat my breakfast. It's getting pretty warm. I'm gonna eat my breakfast and get out of here. Okay, I decided I need to go try to start my truck. It's negative 6 degrees right now, and I'm a little concerned about that. So before I start packing anything, we're gonna make sure this baby gets started. Uh-oh. Okay. Problem. Well, shoot. I thought I had everything covered, but maybe not. I think this is as warm as it's gonna get today, so I might have a little situation on my hands. Still haven't seen anyone drive by, but now my plan is to sit here close to the door to where if I do hear someone, I can stop them. I think I have some jumper cables. I'm gonna get those ready and just leave them on my hood, so hopefully whoever comes by might see that, and I'll try to run out and see if they can give me a jump. Otherwise, might have to make a phone call, calling in someone. Crap. Well, plan B. Well, so here's the plan. I'm going to switch out my propane bottle because that has plenty in it, I think, to go for a while, but I think I'm gonna just get the other one over there because I might be staying here another night. But I'm gonna leave my truck like this, so hopefully if someone drives by, they'll try to help. Maybe get this giant piece of snow out of the way. And hopefully someone drives by for the first time all weekend and helps me out. If not, I think I'll survive. I've got plenty to stay another night. I actually have a bunch of firewood. A little change of plans. Looks like we're out of battery. Nothing horrible yet. It's -6 right now. The warmest it will get today is -4 at 6 p.m. I have plenty of propane, I have plenty of butane, and I have a hole in my brand new pair of gloves. Luckily it's very small. But anyways, I've got the battery cables hanging off the hood of my truck, and I have the hood open. The sun is out. It's supposed to get about 2 degrees warmer, or 4 degrees. It's -6 right now, and it's supposed to get down up to -2. So I'm just gonna kind of hang out here and see if anyone shows up. And if not, I'm gonna take the battery off the terminal once it gets dark, and I'm gonna bring it in the tent with me. And maybe with it being in the tent, it might stay warm enough overnight to not have this problem tomorrow. But in reality, it probably will. I have bottles of water here that are frozen solid that have been in the corner of my tent. So I don't even know if bringing a battery into the tent will do much, because even though there's a lot of warm air going around in here, there's also a lot of corners that have some frost on them and things like that. So I know there's cold air getting in here. I can feel it, but it might be better than sitting out there. Regardless, I've got the hood up. I'm gonna let it sit out there, see if the sun can kind of warm it up a little bit. And worst case Ontario, I can either call my girlfriend or hope somebody drives by. If not, I'll call someone. I think I have some kind of insurance with my insurance for this kind of stuff. But I'm really not too worried about it. I've got plenty to keep going. In fact, it's kind of exciting because now I get to spend another day in this winter wonderland. Maybe though, that sun's really shining now, so maybe it will start. Stay tuned to find out. Well, I think I'm gonna make the most of this situation. I just did a little assessment of everything. I've got enough fuel. I've got enough about everything. I've even got some firewood, so I'm just gonna get a fire started. I'm gonna let the day go by and spend another day out here. We ain't messing around. We want a quick fire going. Barely started, but it worked. Propane. Alright, the plan is to probably put this bad boy inside the tent tonight. I need to make sure I have some tools. Okay, I do have my big toolbox back there. So, this thing might be sleeping in the tent with me tonight. Now, whether that's gonna change anything or do anything at these temperatures, I have no idea. But we're gonna find out. This is what I found at Mill Creek State Park, and I'm pretty sure it's pretty green, but there's some dry wood under it. I don't like that.
nice job keeping his outside shoulder free.
To heat this up quickly, I'm just gonna cook it on the fire maple and then transfer it over to my pan. That way I don't have to cook anything in this, because this is strictly for hot chocolate and coffee and tea. And I'll transfer it over to a pan and let everything simmer. So I'll get this going and then I'll start chopping up my onion and my pork shoulder.
It's super easy to use, and this offers the best protection in the business. In fact, a free discount just for you. Right now, you get the first on the regular annual price. You're not going to find this price on your phone. So for 100%, a charge-only cable for your trip. Not the one that does data transfers, just a charge.
Now go to NFLshop.com. Progressive knows we're all trying to save right now. So
We know what a counter parry is, do we?
Progressive offers you savings without sacrifice. So save big when you bundle home and auto. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
These centers provide 25% better survival rates. The University of Kansas Cancer Center. Committed to caring for Chiefs Kingdom. Committed to caring for you.
Well, the game's tied. Dinner's done. And I'm gonna eat.
Second down with a block in the back. And the touchdown taken off the board.
That flag came during the
Try to get 3 more points here. But they had a TD by Rice taken off the board on a screen.
Feels like minus 29 at 7 a.m.
Juwan Taylor.
Right now it feels like minus 18 and it's negative 5. And I'm cool with that. Negative 4.
Pushed into that field inside. He's got to be able to still have his gap responsibility there. A little quicker movement, I should say early movement by the left guard.
Well, fire burned up pretty good. Now we wait. Pretty nice out here. Lord help me. But man, is it beautiful out here. Well, my ride is coming. Luckily it's Martin Luther King Day and my girlfriend's off work, so she's just chilling at home with her pets. And she's on her way out here with our dog Luna. So I'm gonna go ahead and start loading up, and hopefully we don't have any issues getting the vehicle in to get my battery started, or we'll see. I did ask her to bring my trolling motor for my boat just in case, because I know that battery's pretty new. So if she did bring that, I might try just plugging that thing in instead of pulling her car in, depending on how things go. So I'm gonna start loading up. Now we wait. Hi, Bubba. What are you doing?
Oh, come on.
What are you doing, Luna?
Hey.
Hey.
Hello.
How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm alive.
Well, that's good.
What do you think, Luna?
Pretty happy.
What do you think, Luna?
The first time we clicked on your link, it took us to the parking lot of an elementary school.
I don't think so. But there's a possibility I might have. Well, I'm driving home. This is not the way I wanted to end this trip. As you can see, I have no speedometer. I have no headlights. I have no heat. And somehow, by the grace of God, I started my truck up the other day after it iced over, and I let it warm up for like half an hour, and that melted all the ice on the windshield. And somehow, the fan from the truck is keeping it warm enough to let me drive. I've got my girlfriend behind me. We're going at a very reasonable speed, I think, I don't know. But as we're doing this, I pop the hood on her car and I see that there's no battery connectors close to anywhere I can hook anything up to. I was like, well, luckily she brought the trolling motor battery. So I go to hook it up, and I unhook the old one, and I make sure, okay, positive here, negative here, and I hook the new battery up, knowing in my head, negative on the right, positive on the left. Well, the battery itself, the terminals are opposite ways of the battery I put in. So, when I put the battery in, I fried a bunch of fuses, and hopefully that's all I did. We'll see. But for now, we gotta make it home. And this has been an unbelievable morning. I feel bad for my girlfriend. I feel bad for the dog. Luckily, we had the car going. She was able to keep warm, and that dog, Luna, loves winter weather, so she was able to go out and take a walk around the lake while I got everything down. But the good news is, we're still alive, baby. Let's go home. I have about 3 minutes left on this stinking GoPro footage, and I don't think I could have done this any better. I am just super glad. I want to say thank you to my brother for, I woke him up, I think, and I said, hey man, I'm in trouble, I need your help, and within 10 minutes he had it figured out. At least enough to get us home, and thank God I had extra fuses in my truck. Turns out there's a fuse that runs the throttle cable. It's from the pedal. It's a little 10 amp fuse. I had an extra one. I probably have enough for the lights and stuff, but as far as the heater goes, I did see a 30 amp fuse that was fried, so I'm guessing there's some bigger fuses in here I'm gonna need to take a look at. As for now, we're gonna go home and warm up. Looks like this is not over yet, but it's almost over. Well guys, we made it. We made it home.